Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's well and doing okay. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll call this meeting to order. We, at the present time, have 7 members present and 2 absent. We do have a quorum. You have item 2 on our agenda, approval of the minutes of June 13th, 2022. Our regular meeting, is there a motion to approve? Motion by member Schaefer, second by member Solner. Any comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. We don't have any members of the public who've applied to speak today, so we'll go on to item 4, Departmental Matters Executive Committee. And I have for you no appointments, but we do have some reappointments for this month. And I entertain a motion. Well, I can actually make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by member Metzger. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed. Motion is carried. We'll go on to item E, which is information technologies. We have 2 items. EC1 is request approval to purchase BOOMI, which is Scribner's error there if you want to correct that, software through the Intergovernmental Joint Purchasing Agreement, ARPA funding. And I will move. Is there a second? Second by member Johnston. Any comments or questions? Member Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is $97,087 for 3 years. After the 3 years, is it something that we'll have to continually renew?
It is. So the $97,000 is going to be an annual cost, where we're doing $97,000 per year for each of the 3 years. And the way that this works, this is the cohesion that brings together the parts of our integrated justice system. Now that we're getting rid of Aegis has always been in one database. Now it's going to be in several different databases, along with mental health components, data components. And this is kind of the air traffic control system that will bring the data between all the different systems and ship them back out to the other components of the system that need them. So it's how the jail finds out what the police are doing, police finds out what the jail is doing, probation, etc.
So this just isn't getting us to the point where we can say we have a new system. This will be part of the new system when it's completed.
That is correct. And it also provides us with the ability to scrub our data and analyze our data for trends and issues.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have questions along those same lines, too. Is the $97,087 per year, it says it's funded via the ARPA funds. Is that, how long will the ARPA funds run that will continue to fund that?
We are anticipating this first contract with a 3-year term will be paid for out of the ARPA funding, and following that, we will have funding available through our shared sales tax initiative.
That's dedicated for Aegis, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, can I have a follow-up question then? Is this for the e-filing too? Is this for the e-filing system as well?
So e-filing is part of e-courts. E-courts is one of those components which will interact and bounce information back and forth with other components. So it's a small component, subcomponent of it. But yes, it benefits from it.
All right, so this will improve the e-filing system over there.
It's part of the solution to improve it. It's one of the components that helps improve it, yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Member Metzger.
So you indicated that this has a reporting piece to that.
Yes.
Can you provide a little bit more of explanation so it goes out? Is this a relational database? Is that what this is? Is it in the cloud? What?
It really is, and yes, it'll be cloud hosted. It's really a database that connects other databases. And so we might have some information that's only stored in courts and some that's only stored in probation. And this database will maintain indexes to all of those other data sources. and provide the transit to get that data back and forth.
And who's going to, so each component, the current data that we have will be transitioned into the cloud? Or is that going to be on its own and we'll have to then go out and gather that data, then bring it forward into this database in order to do historical analysis?
Yeah, we had that discussion for quite a few weeks in the internal groups, and the decision was made and the cost analysis, run internally. That showed it actually worked out, and it's within the costs that we're already contracted for to move all the data. So ideally, once we are done with each of the separate components that Aegis is being broken into, jail, records, courts, probation, ideally, Aegis will go dark and be put away in the cobweb closet, hopefully to never reemerge.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, we do have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. And opposed, and the motion has passed. We'll go on to item C2, request approval to purchase VEOCI software for emergency management for the ARPA funding. Also move. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnston. Any comments or questions? Member Schaefer? No? Okay, Member Erickson?
Same question as on the last one. It says on here, their deployment has one-time setup cost of $77,300 with an annual recurring cost of $16,759. Funding is through the American Rescue Plan Act. How long will that continue?
Would you like to address that, please?
Funding through the ARPA is available through 2026, as long as it's obligated through 2024. For subsequent budget years, we will see if we can maintain that 16,000 through our general fund, through the Sheriff's Department EMA budgets. But if not, there is an opportunity to get assistance for ARPA, through ARPA.
So initially, it'll come through ARPA. How long would you project we'll continue to be able to use ARPA? I mean, a year, 2 years, 3 years, or?
Potentially, we could use it through 2026. I'm not sure if it will be needed for this project in future years.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Member Metzger?
What are we currently using?
Unfortunately, we don't really have a current solution. At this time, when we've had these kinds of issues, we've had to rely on the goodwill of other agencies to come in and make their software available to us.
So reporting then on this stuff will only be current forward? Is that accurate?
Yeah, for emergency management, that would be correct.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed. And the motion has passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. We'll go on to the report of Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. Ms. Granger Belcher, would you like to join us?
Good afternoon. We have no items for action, no items to be presented to the board, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions on our monthly report.
Do we have any questions? Well, this is Vanessa's last week with us, and it's been an honor and a privilege to work with you and have you come on board. Vanessa came in, not only did she bring a lot of skill and background knowledge, but she also brought a lot and insight, but she brought a lot of organizational skills at a time when we needed to move right on forward, and she did just that. Very much appreciative of all you've done with you and wish you the best, and I know they'll have a little gathering for you yet, but wish you the best in the future down in Alabama. So let's give her a big hand. Thank you. Kevin McCall is here, and Kevin, would you just stand up, please? Introduce a new director of the Behavioral Health Coordination for us, who will be replacing. So this will be Kevin's first day on the job on, what, Monday? All right, well, welcome and congratulations. We'll look forward to working with you. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's go on to the report of the Finance Committee. Chairman Metzger.
The Finance Committee has a couple of items for presentation and action, and that is, what number is this?
B1A.
E. Thank you.
B, yeah,
E,
1A.
no, we're in B. 4, that was it.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
needed, was the
4B
4. Thank you.
1A.
4B, 1A, and that's request approval of the amendum to acceptance agreement with the State Board of Election voter registration grant for 2022, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion's passed.
Then we are going to move on to 4B, 1B, and that's request approval of an ordinance by the McLean County Court amending Chapter 205 fees, Article, that would be 1011, would that be right? Let's see, 14, excuse
Tax
me.
sales.
14, tax sales, Section 38, authority amount in the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnson. Comments or questions? Any discussion?
The only thing I really want to say is this is actually a decrease in fees, so I think we need to be cognizant that our leader, our treasurer has been watching these accounts and has identified that there should be adequate funding, and so she has recommended to reduce those fees, and so our taxpayers will see a reduction. And so I wanted to kind of make that comment and give kudos to our current treasurer for her
Very
action.
good. We will do that. We'll pass that on. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed. And the motion is passed. You have the floor.
I'm going to, if it's all right with the chairman, I would like to combine 4B, 1C, and D. These are also associated with that same, what we just passed, had to do with our fees, and I would like to put those two together.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, you may proceed.
4B, 1C and D, and that's request approval of an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending 205 fees, Article 14, tax sales, Section 39, fund purpose in McLean County Code, and request approval of an ordinance in McLean County amending Chapter 205 fees, Article 14, tax sales, Section 40, effective date for the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Motion by Member Metzger to approve items C and D. Is there a second? Second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion has passed.
And then we're moving on to 4B1E, and that's request approval of an ordinance of the McLean County Board to opt out of the preferential assessment and affordable rental housing construction and rehabilitation pursuant to 35 ILCS 200-15178, and that was postponed to June. And I believe what we would like to do is pull our vote not to opt out, if I
The
recall.
advice that I had from the department chairman, Tim Jorzak, was if there were no objections, we just go ahead and remove item 4B1. from the agenda at this time.
And that's what I propose then,
Right.
is to remove it, because we are not going to opt out of this after a significant review. It has been determined that we could potentially manage this effort.
Okay,
So
are there,
I
is
move
there
that
an
we
objection?
remove it.
Is there an objection? Hearing none, then we'll go ahead and remove that item from this time from the agenda. Thank you.
And we will have a number of items to present to the board, but any questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll go into the report of the Health Committee, Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Health Committee has no items for action today, and we may or may not have something for the board on
Okay.
Thursday.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Justice Committee, Chairman Erickson.
Give me a chance to turn it on. No, please. I mean, give me a chance to turn it on.
We're ready to go.
All right. First of all, do I have to bring these as three separate, or can I combine them?
Let's see what we have. Just a minute. CAC. Okay.
I can combine them?
I believe that's possible.
All right.
Let's do A and B together then.
What I
Is there
do
an
make-
objection to combining A and B? Why don't we combine A and B? And then
Yeah, do I need to read them all, or just say 4D1A and read them all, or what do you want me to do? I
Well, for the
forget.
record, I think we should probably.
All right, thank you. All right.
With your
The
mic on,
Justice
Chuck.
Committee brings two items for action, item 4D1A and 4D1B. 4D1A says request approval of a grant agreement between the Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois and Children's Advocacy Center of McLean County, and the link was provided in our packet. And 4D1B states request approval of a grant agreement between the state of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois, and a link was provided with our packet, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson for items A and B. Is there a second? Second by Member Wendt. Comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed. And the motion is passed.
All right, our next item is item 4D1C, request approval of an amendment to the grant agreement between Illinois Association of Court-Appointed Special Advocates and Casa of McLean County, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed. And the motion is carried.
The Justice Committee has no other items for action, and we will have several additional items to be presented to the board. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll go into the report of the Property Committee. Chairman Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property Committee has no items for action this evening, but would be happy to answer any questions from the committee.
Member Solberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Member Barnett, I'm going to ask a question. I think I know the answer, but I wondered if you could tell me who is responsible for the landscape and maintenance of the government center parking lot, the one directly to the east of us?
Oh, you mean the one that's overgrown with weeds and looks
Well, you
awful?
ruined my punchline, I guess. I assume that's the city of Bloomington, or am I wrong?
Well, I believe that is actually our responsibility to be keeping up with that. I think the city has helped us with some landscaping, putting that landscaping in the past, but I think the actual maintenance of that falls to the county's responsibility.
Okay, well, again, I'm a little ashamed, I guess, of the look of the weeds and that, and again, I realize it gets away from us, and, but that's why I was hoping it was a city of Bloomington issue, so I could complain to them, so I won't be quite so harsh since it's our responsibility, but
No, it's-
I'd like to see somebody try and do something, I mean, it needs a good shot of something to kill those weeds.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that and I agree completely. I think one of the challenges that the facilities department has had has been staffing, and just trying to keep up with smaller things like that when there are, bigger fish to fry when they come up. But it does certainly need to be addressed. I agree.
Okay, again, I was hoping it was a city issue,
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
Okay, thank you. Well,
May
since
I
you-
may I ask a question of Member Barnett related to that same thing? If we're having issues from a staffing perspective, do we have the ability to contract that? To a
Private landscaping.
private landscaping firm, or,
Yeah, I would say that the county could enter into any contract like that it wanted to.
maybe we need to consider that if we're unable to maintain our properties, especially ones that are so visible to the public.
Okay, thank you. Member Solner, you have the floor. Land Use and Transportation Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Land Use and Transportation has one item, 4F1A, request approval of an Illinois Department of Transportation Capital Assistance Grant application for a show bus. This is $285,000 in addition to other monies that we received this year for grants, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Solner. Is there a second? Anyone? Member Johnson? Comments or questions?
I do have a question.
Member
because,
Metzger.
So this is for their maintenance shop, is that accurate?
Correct, up at
At Shinoa.
Yes.
No, yeah.
And is it rebuilding or is providing maintenance shop equipment? So it's just the equipment, it's not redesigning or adding any structure?
I don't believe it's for any additional building. I think there is some maintenance we're doing also, but it's not just all equipment.
Okay.
And as I mentioned before, we got some money earlier this year we had some security issues and some roof issue. And again, that's all being provided through the same grant outfit. So, right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion is passed.
The land use and transportation will have a number of items to present to the board. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. We'll go on to the report of our county administrator, Ms. Taylor. Member
Thank-
Barnett, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, do we need to do F
Did I miss something?
1B and reappoint Mr. Stokes as our county engineer?
By golly, where did I miss something here?
I don't see that on mine either.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, I accidentally flipped over to last month as we were sitting.
Okay,
My apologies.
we could reappoint you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
After that mild heart attack that I forgot something on the agenda.
That's what I was just
4G1A is a request for approval of a resolution of the county board for the Kamlara Park Road Project.
Is it-
This is improvements on the roads, existing roads.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Member Barnett, is there a second? Second by Member Johnson. Comments or questions? Discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Wait a minute, do we have discussion?
I just
I'm
wanted.
not seeing you over there.
I apologize. I just wanted to give a quick shout out and thank you to Mr. Stokes and the Highway Department for their assistance in this project and all the work that they did to prepare this and to get this ready for bid and to put out of Kamlara.
Yes. Anyone else? All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion is passed.
Thank you. The next item is 4G1B, request approval of contract with Ideal Environmental Engineering for the History Museum's Plaster project.
And is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Schaefer. Is there a second? Second by Member Barnett. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion is passed.
Next is 4G1C, request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board continuing the declaration of a disaster.
And is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Solner. Second by Member Metzger. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And the motion is passed.
And lastly, 4G1D, request approval of an American Rescue Plan Act funding agreement.
Is there a motion to approve? That's on page 110. Motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Solner. Comments or questions? Member Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm sure a number of other members and I'm sure administrations had phone calls or questions about how soon the villages would be able to start receiving their funds. I was just curious if you had an answer. Will this speed it up some when this gets completed?
Yes, this funding agreement has been sent to all of the villages and towns that are included in this project. And once those are fully executed, the funds have been received to the county, and so we can begin that process right away.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do have a question, and I'm sorry if I don't recall. So this money will be given to them prior to execution of these projects, or do they pay it and then get reimbursed?
There is a funding formula in there where they will receive, let me find it here. Section 5 explains the disbursement, and the initial disbursement will be 50% of the project, and then future distributions shall be upon significant
Okay.
completion of the project, or
Thank you.
as funds are needed.
Just looking at the wrong
Okay.
piece, so thank you very much.
Any
for
other
that.
questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? And the motion has passed.
So I do have two items for information to present this evening. The first is that the Public Building Commission met this week and made progress on the selection of a vendor for our elevator project in the History Museum and the Law and Justice Center. And they are currently negotiating a contract with Otis to complete that work. And the next is that we have a request for proposal that has been released through the Department of Behavioral Health Coordination, and that is to look at opportunities that may be available in the community to assist us with the triage center. We think that coordination with our current service providers may be able to increase our service delivery and provide more continuity of care in our crisis system. And so I will have more information should we receive a proposal that we can move forward on.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on. Any other business or communication this time? I'll have about a number of announcements and congratulatory announcements and everything else come on Thursday. I have about 5 right now. I would say wish happy birthday to member, 40th birthday, member Spanos. So, 30th, okay. Thank you. Anyone else have any announcements? Okay, I have bills to pay. We have our general fund shared sales tax, Veterans Assistance, and American Rescue Plan fund in the amount of $1,013,849.49. And we also have our regional planning budget of $7,399.98. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by member Metzger. Is there a second? Anyone? Second by member Solner. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed. And the motion to pay the bills and transfers has passed. I have nothing else for tonight. We'll see you Thursday night. Hope everybody's doing well. Congratulations again, Vanessa, and good luck with their new venture. And we'll be seeing you soon, I hope. Connie, thank you for coming, and anyone else, and we'll see you Thursday night. This meeting's adjourned.